checking out Ashton Jeanty as I said I was. It's about to be halftime. I think they get ready to punt. It's like a minute left in the first half. So they get ready to punt. And y'all know the talk is Ashton Jeanty. To me, it doesn't take long for me to see a vision for a player. It doesn't take long for me to figure out a player's strengths or weaknesses, right? Now, of course, you do your full due diligence, which I still will, right? And we still have a second half to go, right? Um, so he done went through some adversities here in the first half, right? So the competition, right? It's an uptick in competition. And I think he's adjusting to that in the speed of the game. The competition, the speed was slower. The bodies was probably smaller. So, it's a little bit of an adjustment period for him, right? The two fumbles that he had, it wasn't good, right? In the biggest moment in the playoff game, right? Now, I know your team isn't the best, right? Your defense had a slow start, but they've got a couple stops no matter how they got it. Your offense, right? Of course, they're probably going to thrive when they're using you as a decoy, right? Which they probably will some more in certain situations. But in big time games, right? I need my big time players to make big time plays in big time games, right? And it's been a slow start right now. Of course, you expect it for Penn State to stack the box, right? I didn't expect the boy to run for 300 yards, 200 yards today, right? Uh, and actually, in what he's seeing is going to be a little bit more realistic than what he will see, right, in the NFL, right? Instead of going against, what he went against, like Wyoming and stuff. Like, you ain't going to go against no Wyomings in the NFL, right? So I understand that aspect too. But I was looking at some things, right? And, from our first, of course, we're going to dig into this boy, right? We're going to pause, right? We're gonna really watch him thorough, right? When it comes down to, looking at the draft, which is ready to be about that time. But we probably get ready to start, I had to say, I probably within maybe this next week, we're probably going to start getting into it as soon as the Dallas Cowboys season in. We're probably going to start getting straight into it, start talking about it. But so this is my thing, right? What's going on, Paul? This my thing in regards to Ashton Jeanty, right? Right, because Cowboy Nation is like, yo, is Ashton Jeanty the pick? So, we got backs like Bijan Robinson that came out. What's going on? Lovely. We got backs like Bijan that came out, Saquon, right? Backs that fit that type of mold. I don't think he's that type of mold from what I've seen. Not saying that he's not a good back. Not saying that he's not a first round back. If I had to give you more of a comparison of what he does, I'll say go back to Ezekiel Elliott. I think he's like, I don't know what he'll run. Maybe, if he trains himself, he might run a 4.40, right? He might run a good 40. But on the speed, from what I'm looking at, the play speed being increased, right, going against the Penn State defense, he's seen more. If I had to give you a time to compare for all my little time people, I have to say he looked more 4.5-ish, right? Not that stop on a dime type thing, right? He got good contact balance for what I've seen. He gonna run physical, right? He gonna put that pain, right? I think in the future, maybe I know he probably been running he stands up in his stance. I know he been running like that probably his whole life. But maybe I might make that adjustment in the NFL to give him a good, maybe that good little fourth of a second, half of a second type, advantage to go ahead and hit the hole a little quicker, because regardless of what you say, right, standing up, he take that little pause. Like, how could I explain it, right? I would have to show you, like, he takes that little pause step, and I think if he was more crouched down, I think that he'll probably get off a little bit more quicker, right? It's just like, in the 2-point stance, right, as a defensive end, if you ain't shifting your weight, right, you're gonna have that delay in your get off, right? But if you in that 3 point stance and you got your weight a little heavier on the front of your stance, you ain't got no choice but to go forward, right? So I think that will probably maybe assist him in the NFL if he chooses to make that adjustment, which maybe he should tweak with it and see. But yeah, I just get more. Like I said, Ezekiel Elliott was a first round back, right? And I'm not saying I'm out or in on him, right? I'm just letting you know what I seen in the first half, right? And I just think that he's more when it comes down to top running backs. I think he's looking a little bit more like Ezekiel Elliott, right? And Ezekiel Elliott was a bad boy in college, right? And you too, T Dub. He was a bad boy in college, right? And early on in his career with Dallas Cowboys, shit, he was a bad boy. And I think that probably with a better offensive line, right, more spacing, a little bit more weapons on the outside than with Boise State, I think he can. I see more Ezekiel Elliott than I see Bijan or like a Saquon in his game. I see more Ezekiel Elliott so far. That's just off of the first half. I'm not going. I mean, I'm going to dock points against him, right? I'm as far as the fumbles, I'm a dock because you can't fumble in the biggest game, man. You can't do that, right? This is the biggest game of your career thus far, national stage. Everybody watching you. This could impact your draft stock, right? You still gonna be a first round pick regardless, though. But you fumbling twice, that ain't good. That ain't good at all, right? The first fumble, you was fighting for extra yards, right? You lost the ball. The second fumble, you was trying to make somebody miss. You lost the rock, but it didn't hurt you. Them two fumbles, man, that ain't good, man, in the biggest moment, right? But what I would like to see, I want to see if he can crib something against his defense. Like I said, I just didn't see that. I'm trying to give you a running back, man, of a comparison. It's gonna come to me, man, as we continue to watch this boy. I see it, like I said, I see a lot of good things with him. He not slow, but if you looking for that he not Bijan though. If you get what I'm saying, you know Bijan make you miss in the hole. He gonna skip to my Lou. Like his lateral quickness is a lot faster, right, than I think Jeanty's is. They shutting him down, right? And like I said, I expected it to be tough, so I'm not holding that against him. Quick accomplishment. It's playoffs, right? They game plan, everything was stopping Jeanty. I understand that, right? And I'm not holding that against him, right? Because he could probably bust a couple in the second half. I'm not holding that against him, but I'm mainly judging him right now off of his physical characteristics. Now, when the game is complete, then we can go ahead and talk about how it looked overall, right? Because we got the second half left. The man, like I said, the man could probably bust for 300 if, right? And it's a close game, 14-7, right? I want to see a running back like Ashton Jeanty. I want to see a running back like him take over in the second half. The quarterback for Penn State don't look too hot, right, in regards to what he can do. He don't look too hot. Like he definitely a lot beatable. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's supposed to be coming out. If I'm not mistaken, so your defense with the slow start is giving you a chance because I think Penn State is not taking advantage of the opportunities that they had early on. Because in our reality, if Penn State would have took advantage of that momentum, they probably should have had like 28 points up, But Penn State, they messed it. I know they fumbled that exchange earlier in the half. That probably was looking to be 7. They driving right now with 23 seconds left, right? We'll see if they turn this to 7. Let's see. Oh, hit him right in the hands, huh? But yeah, I just get more when you're dealing with faster people. I just get more Ezekiel Elliott, right? Because you're gonna be dealing with Fred Warner's at linebacker, right? You're going to be dealing with some quicker corners, some safeties at the Derwin James of the world. You got defensive ends running 4-6, 4-7, 4-6s. You got D tackles probably running 4-8, 4-7s, right? So you're going to be dealing with you're going to be dealing with quicker and stronger people, right? Now, I think that his strength and the way that he runs, I believe that will translate. I believe that will translate. He's strong. They talk about he benched 500 pounds, right? I mean, I bench but squat 500 pounds. I mean, that's cool, right? But, you know, and of course that, translates. But I'm like, shoot, is he a running back that continues to want to squat all this heavy weight? Because, Saquon and all them was squatting all that weight, banging up their knees, man. I need him to be able to preserve them legs as we get down there. What's going on, Happy? But like I said, I'm not gonna speak on the performance in totality yet, but them two fumbles ain't a good look. In a big game like this, them two fumbles ain't a good look, right? There's always a tale of two halves, right? 14-7 game, right? It looked like the defense that gave them a stop. So this Boise State defense is giving them an opportunity. Now I need somebody like Jeanty to take over. I have high expectations for him, right? With Jeanty, what he did, because right now in the competition, right, he pretty much was playing varsity. He was a varsity boy playing against the freshman team this whole season. Now he got some more varsity boys with him. So regardless of you playing on varsity or what, you still got to go ahead and play like it's nothing but freshman and JV comp on the field. So in his second half, I expect a lot from him. I expect for him to make some plays. If he that first round pick, if this is somebody that Dallas could potentially go after, I expect a lot from him, right? I'm a hold mercy and give him grace in his first half because I understand different competition. You just adjusting to the speed. I understand all that. Second half, he best to put on that work hat and he best to get busy. Because if you don't, shoot, when we talk about him again, man, we might be having a different kind of conversation with him, right? So, Ezekiel Elliott, like I said, right now, physically, comparing him to the way he runs and his lateral quickness, I'm saying he more Ezekiel Elliott than any other running back from what I've seen. And Ezekiel Elliott was a bad boy. Ezekiel Elliott can get you 13-3 in your first year dealing with a scrub quarterback, right? As we can see. Ezekiel Elliott can run the ball and hide a bad defense, as you've seen in the past, right? So I haven't seen nothing to say that I wouldn't, right? Because we're going to look at that Arizona. I think Arizona State, we're going to look at that boy in the morning tomorrow. But he looked hella slow to me. But he got good contact. But I'm hearing he got good contact balance too. So we're going to see. Because these are supposed to be, right? What? I forgot his name. But these supposed to be two of the top running backs, right? Because if I don't really see, and this is why I say what I say now. Because if you don't see that specialness, right? And it don't even have to be, see, I could see special and he didn't rush for 60 yards, right? So I'm not necessarily looking at the statistic point of view. I'm looking at the impact and what you do with each carry. I don't give a damn if you got 10 people in the box. I'm looking at how you go about it. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at your creativity. I'm looking at your vision. Because there was a couple times, man, where he had some nice fat holes and he was able to get through it, though. But I thought he was going to get through it a little bit quicker than what he did. So that's what gives me more of the Ezekiel Elliott type runner. But this is going to be interesting, though. I'm tuned in. I haven't really been paying too much to Abdul Carter. I watched him more last week, though. But as I told y'all, man, and watched him, I'm not impressed. And I seen that he got banged up in this game. So, I mean, this would have been a perfect game to watch him, too, and how he handles the edge, right? I don't know if he back in because I'll be honest with y'all, I'm watching the game, but I'm really tuned in every snap to what Jeanty does because I said I was going to be tuned in to what Ashton Jeanty does. So I'm watching the game, but then I'm not watching the game, if you get what I'm saying. I'm paying attention to this running back and seeing what he about because the Dallas Cowboys so definitely needs a running back that can handle 20 touches a game. Not this split touches running back. You need to bring back Emmitt Smith, Ezekiel Elliott type running backs, man, back into the fold that we need over here at the Dallas Cowboys. With your current quarterback situation, with the current makeup of your team, and you having so many holes in your team, the Dallas Cowboys need somebody special in that backfield. So I'm looking for special so far. I'm looking for special, you know. So we're going to see in the second half something that's special, right? That's what I'm looking for, special playmaking, showing up big time and big time games, right? Because it'll be a disappointment if he has a second half like he has in his first half. First half ain't been that good, but hey, you get an opportunity to bounce back. That's why you play 4 quarters. That's why you have 2 halves. Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, we most definitely could talk about it. We can talk about it because I'm interested. I'm tuned in, y'all. I'm locked in, right? I done did everything that I needed to do today so I can be tuned in to this game. But yeah, we talk about it though. Most definitely though. So yeah, I just wanted to pop in and let y'all know what I've seen so far in this first half. I'm gonna be tuned in again, and we could talk. And when we talk about what he doing in the second half, is it worthy? What? Because I need to know, man. I need to know because look, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Uh, Going off of his performance, and I'm really tuned in because I'm gonna tell you something. If I see what I need to see in the second half, right, man? Hey, look. If Jeanty shows me what I need to see in the second half, because like I said, we're gonna continue to watch him, right? Even not past this game. I would love for him to go on and beat Penn State so I can see him some more in the playoffs. I would love for that, to get another look at him in a big time moment. I would love for that. So he can go against the Ohio States and stuff. I would love to see that. I would love to see how that plays out, right? Going to get just like Khalil Mack when he had his opportunity, when he was at Buffalo against, I believe it was Ohio State, he messed around and had 4 sacks. I remember scouting him. He messed around, had like 4 sacks. He showed, he was going against small time competition, but when he was against the big time competition, he seized the moment. And he was like, yeah, that man for real. Now I want to see against Penn State, does Ashton Jeanty seize the moment? Because if he seizes the moment, and he turns it around in the second half, and he shows some playmaking ability, right? Because I already seen his ability, right? His contact balance, and he could break some tackles. I didn't seen that, right? And I believe that'll translate in the next level. But I'm looking for other things too. And let's see if he show me them other things in the second half. Because if he do, we're gonna be talking about, hey, I don't care who in there and that first round pick. If he show us what we need to see, it don't matter. We win the stakes for Jeanty. We talking about Jeanty. Now, if you show me some mediocre ass stuff, now we can maybe fall back and be like, you know what? There's other good running backs that we can get, whether it be on somebody else's roster that didn't get a chance, that has the talent but didn't get the opportunity, or we're gonna talk about running backs that's in the second, third, fourth round. But we'll be back and we'll see. We'll be tuned in. But all right, y'all.